A credit card is aggressively marketed as a piece of magical plastic that prints purchasing power and free travel. The reality is much colder. A credit card is a secured, short-term loan, governed by strict operational mechanics. The industry promises cashback and luxury rewards, but those perks are completely subsidized by millions of users who stumble into consumer debt traps. This quadrant chart measures exactly how your specific habits dictate your financial outcome. Using a standard bank debit card places you squarely at zero. You spend what you have. It requires low effort and produces a neutral impact on your wealth. If you swipe a credit card and only make minimum payments, you drop straight into the bottom left. This low-effort approach aggressively drains your wealth. Up in the top right is the highly intentional user. They put in the high effort required to manipulate the rules and extract a heavy positive return. The gap between ending up in devastating debt and flying in first class for free isn't luck. It is determined entirely by your ability to follow the system's rules. The first mechanical error is treating a bank's credit limit as cash in your pocket. If the bank gives you a $10,000 limit, that simply means they've calculated you are profitable to leverage at that amount. When the bill arrives, the bank will offer you a minimum payment option, usually $20 or $30. It looks like a convenient way to stay in good standing. This comparison matrix shows the mathematical reality of that choice on a $500 purchase. On the left, if you pay the full statement balance, your interest accrued is exactly $0. You successfully borrowed the bank's money for free. On the right, making a $35 minimum payment leaves the remaining balance exposed to compounding interest rates that frequently exceed 20%. Any 1 or 2% cash back you earned at the register is instantly destroyed by a 20% interest penalty. The math guarantees a net loss. Users fall into this trap to preserve their cash liquidity for the month. By keeping that cash in their checking account, they permanently increase the cost of everything they buy. Whenever you intentionally carry a balance, you are mathematically sacrificing your own wealth to fund the reward points of the optimized users. You can pay your balance in full every single month and still trigger an invisible penalty that actively damages your credit. It comes down to credit utilization, how much of your available credit you are currently borrowing. This single metric controls 30%. On day one, you make a $1,000 purchase. If your credit limit is only $1,000, you are now utilizing 100% of your available credit. Most casual users ignore day 30, the statement close date. The bank takes a balance snapshot, reporting 100% utilization to credit bureaus. You still have 20 days until your due date on day 50. You can pay the entire $1,000 on day 50, avoiding all interest. But because the snapshot was taken on day 30, the algorithm has already flagged your profile, and your credit score drops. Doing the math correctly isn't enough. In the credit system, when the bank checks the math, determines your score. Beyond timing errors, banks offer specific features and account structures designed to quietly erode your margins. The most aggressive of these is the cash advance. A credit card is not a debit card. Pulling physical cash from your credit line is an emergency lever with catastrophic terms. There is no grace period on a cash advance. The moment the cash leaves the ATM, you are hit with exorbitant interest rates that accrue daily until the balance is paid. The opposite extreme is placing an old, unused card in a drawer and forgetting about it. If an account sits dormant for too long, the bank will unilaterally close it. Finally, there is the strategy void. Opening a retail card for discounts or copying a friend's premium card without checking your own budget. If your largest monthly expenses are rent and groceries, holding an airline card that only earns miles on travel purchases is a complete misalignment. You leave hundreds of dollars in optimized returns on the table. A fragmented wallet full of random cards gives you a quick sign-up thrill, but it sacrifices the compounding, high-yield returns of a targeted strategy. Credit cards are neutral mechanisms of financial leverage. If you ignore the operational rules, the house wins the math every time. This decision tree maps out exactly how you should interact with the system based on your own habits. The first requirement is absolute. Can you set up automated, full balance payments every single month? If the answer is no, you fall into the novice category. You must stick to a debit card. A 2% cashback reward will never outpace a 20% interest penalty. If you guarantee a zero balance, you move down the tree. What is your highest baseline spend? Rent, groceries, or travel? If you are a casual user, your goal is protection. Put a small automated subscription on your oldest cards to keep them active, and pay down your heavy usage before the statement close date to keep your utilization reported under 30%. If you are an optimizer, you audit your real-world spending, align your cards to those specific categories, and strip away all emotional attachment. The day a card stops offering outsized value, you close it and move on. The plastic in your wallet has no inherent value.
The financial outcome is determined entirely by the systemic discipline of the person wielding it.